to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
In the morning, I wake up feeling no pain. Long stretches, I get to remember it. Then I see my bed is empty on one side. Back in the sheet, only place I can hide. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. Sick and weary, and only your love's gonna make it I close the curtain, sweating, shaking all over. Imagine you're here. I'm looking up at the door. I'm a better man with your love than without. Stuck in the cell, I may never make it out. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. Sick and weary, and only your love's gonna make it right. Yeah, only your love, only your love. Only your love, only your love. Just a little, take me along the way. Won't you visit? Won't you stop by to stay? I'm a better man with your love than without. In the cell, I may
wake to your love in the morning. This simple thing that we do. Breathe in, breathe out with you. You stopped to tell me just one more time before we start the day. Easy with you.
Well, welcome, Core. Good to see you. And to the other person or two that's here already, welcome. Hope you're having a good day finishing off this weekend. So I am currently trading a bot strategy. So I'm very rigid with the rules because I'm trying to program a bot, and I'm going to try to act like at least the first draft of what I want the bot to do, and we'll see if that's profitable or if I need to make some changes to it. So you'll see me very, basically the rules are can't bid until there's only at least 7 minutes left. It has to be at least $5 away from the strike, and 75 cents minimum. And bid at ask, get in, set 10-cent profit, and get ready to do a stop loss. Basically, if it returns to the strike. So I did have to take a stop loss on that last one, but this is very low stress for me. There's not much decision making involved. I'm just following the rules. So this is like ultimate strategy here. Stick to the strategy as if I was trading it as a bot. So that's what I'm trying to work on here tonight and for the next week, is with this primary strategy, and we'll see how that works and if there needs to be any adjustments to make it more profitable. So that's what I'm working on. And yeah, I'm going to keep it on the music mostly until we get a bigger crowd. But yeah, I'll come back in if you have any questions or want to chat about anything.
Another break in the promise was always a pattern of mine. It's the way that I learned that the gamble was only a matter of time. And I pray that I don't have to pay for it yet, but I'm willing to gamble on a bet. I'm willing to forgive and forget. Say one thing to me and another and swear it's over the best. Cut all the toxic people telling me to give it a rest. Not to
if I can find my way out. I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe, and nobody is watching at night. Who wanna rise up? Need a friend to shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe. Fall into the ocean. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching. The water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. It's coming in. The water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. It's coming.
Hey Serge, what's up, man? Uh, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna advise you on what to do with that, but all all the meme coins I ever seen when they stabilize, I don't know, they usually fall off after that. But hey, man, I'm with you. Whatever you decide to do, I'd be taking that profit full show at that moment. But then I'm the guy that's like, oh no, it went up another five times. Oh no. But I don't know. Something to be said for locking in profit when you got it, especially in those unstable meme coins. But I'll I'll leave it at that. I am not a financial expert. This is for educational purposes only. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We are testing a bot strategy, basically implementing the strategy I use most of the time, and try to see if we just apply it in kind of a strict manner with strict entry and exit points and timing, if we can be profitable doing that, and then maybe we'll tweak some factors and see if we can be more profitable in the second week. But yeah, this is kind of my plan here is for the next month. What's up, Astral? Everything you said is 100% valid, but I'm not listening. I understand, man. I hope it goes crazy. That'd be fun. I'd love to get on the stream tomorrow and have you tell me it went absolutely bananas. Astral, hope you're doing well tonight. So anyway, for the next few weeks at least, probably for a little bit longer, I'll be testing different settings for a bot that I'm going to write. And the basic idea of this first run is, so I'm the bot in this scenario, and I cannot bid until the 7-minute mark. I cannot bid if it's within $5 of the strike. But as soon as it does get to 75 cents and above $5 away from the strike, I have to bid at the current ask price. So I'm going to pay Kalshi fees and get placed. And then immediately set a take profit at 10 cents above. And the stop loss will be basically if the price crosses the line. So if it goes to the other side of the line at any point, stop loss. So I plan to, in general, have my stop loss kind of be around 40 cents per contract, something like that. 40, 45, 50, maybe. Depends on the market, but that's the plan. And then I think in general, the rule is get out at 2 minutes. 5 contracts every time, except when I get in at 94 or above. If I get in at 94 or above, I'll do 10 contracts and set the take profit at 99.9. So that's the plan with this simulation I'm running right now. We'll see the profit and loss after the week and see if it's, and just from the experience of watching what happens, kind of review what might make it better. But I'm going to do my best to just not touch anything, let the strategy run for an entire week, and then next Sunday night, review kind of what happened and see if there needs to be adjustments made to the strategy. But yeah, that's what I'm doing over here. So definitely going to be in chat mode, until about maybe the 8-minute mark or something like that. 8 minutes to go. But yeah, until we get a little bit more activity in the chat, I'll be just chilling with the music on, and I'll be here in case something comes up. Yeah.
So I wanna see where this could go. This could go. Break the news to everyone. The long time wait is finally done. I wasn't hanging around for fun. You could be the one. Remember the start when you crack in my heart again like blood on
Well, my take on the chart here, Serge, is that it's pretty mid. Um, the trend is actually up overall. If you follow that red line, it's on an uptrend. It's right on that line. I'd say it's choppy up. Um, and RSI is kind of pretty mid, slightly above, but pretty mid. Not a super strong indicator of down. Um, could happen. Seen a lot since I've been on just a couple markets. It's been pretty choppy up and down. It seems like it's kind of moving sideways more than anything at the moment. Um, but yeah, I don't see any real super strong indicators. They kind of balance each other out. So I don't have anything real strong. Um, yeah, basically could go either way. Congrats on the win.
Anyway, baby, just name the time. When I'ma come through, can you get me cruising on the moonlight? Top down, playing new sounds while the wind blows over it. Checking my maps, heading a stack, keep it intact. Do me a favor, girl. Can you keep it warm for me, keep it on for me like a shower? I needed to run for me, hold it down till I'm pulling up. I finally made it, girl. And I'm at the door, see you walking up to me, and you got something that's showing what's underneath. Still you expect me to make it do pleasantries, baby, I'm yours. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rubbing in the hallway, no use for all the rooms. So what you wanna do? Can all for you. No, no, no. She said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. We could catch a vibe here on this trip. I'm in your soul, you're on my head. I want you at my fingertips all night, all night. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rubbing in the hallway, no use for all the roads. What you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no.
Well, I know how you want it to seem, but we'll watch as it all plays out. From the crest of the wave that we broke upon, and pulled you back into the sea, all the way down. Why'd it take all our life to explain that it's more beautiful when you're here? I remember the light when I turned around and revealed all the truth, no escape. Point blank. Say it like it is this time for me to hear. Suddenly you felt all alone again, even in crowded rooms with all your friends. Where goes the tide? All in front of you. Where goes the tide? Still in front of you. Say it like it is this time for me to hear. Sudden.
Well, let's take a look at the chart, Izzy, and let's see what I'm thinking here for support and resistance. I rely pretty heavily on the Bollinger Bands for that in general. Let's see, the bottom of the Bollinger Band's 930, somewhere in there. Top is way up here at 65,420. And that's has, it's maybe a little bit lower than that. But we are on an uptrend, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we if it needs to be a little bit wider than what you're saying. I mean, your numbers, those are legit numbers, I suppose. Um, but I'm watching this uptrend, and I would have it a little bit wider, just because of this high about 4 hours ago, something like that. And we went down, and now we're gonna kind of see if we retest that or not. Um, but yeah, could be the beginning of a downtrend. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's maybe even a little wider than what you're saying there. Nice, a little scalpage. Yeah, I did the same thing. Again, I'm just running a script. Basically, I'm trading like I'm trading as a bot. So I have to execute exactly according to a script, and I'll do that for the next week. And after that week is done, I'll see if I want to change, one aspect, and then retest for another week, and just see if we can zoom in and figure out a good, solid strategy that the bot can reliably do that is profitable. So that's kind of what I'm doing. 75-cent win in this one already. Damn. Surge is on it. So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty predictable. Oh, well, I'm gonna be very predictable uh, over the next week. So I'll have a lot of ability to chat and answer questions and talk about whatever, because it's kind of a no-brainer. Once I just have to do it. I can't start until 7 minutes to go, and I've just got real strict rules in place of what I have to do based on what I'm seeing. So, what's up, Carlos? So I was thinking, Carlos is the locked-in guy, right? His job for the community is just to remind us when we get chatty or to lock in. I do want to say, Carlos, for the next week, my lock in doesn't start until about the 7 minute 30 second mark to go. Just throwing that out there. Other people can be locked in before that, but for me, if you're telling me to lock in, uh, it would be if I'm still talking and it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds. But I was wondering if we wanted to have some other roles in the community that people could aspire to lead us on. One thing, I it's hard for me to ask for people. I don't like to do it, but for likes and comments and hitting the emojis and all that. Serge, you want to be the engagement cheerleader. I don't know. You seem to have done that a few times for me. Um, but yeah, I do it, but I don't know. I almost rather not do it at all and just yeah, just do my thing and not even ask anybody to do it. The 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 rough thing is I didn't do that the last live, and then nobody hit like on the live. So there's a reason why content creators are constantly asking for people to press buttons. So, so yeah, okay, all right, cool, man. The engagement guy. We got the lock-in guy, the engagement guy. Kate is about to break all-time high after a few hours. Wow. What's up, the real Pipe X? Welcome. I'll be chatting here for a little bit longer before I get into lock-in mode on this next trade. I am trading a late in the market strategy, high probability, and I'm trying to simulate the programming of a trading bot that I'm working on now. So I'm kind of trying to act like a bot at the moment and just follow a script and do exactly as the script calls for. So I'll be very predictable for the next week. But yeah, so I'll have plenty of mental space available to answer questions or just chat. So, but yeah, welcome. I hope everybody has a good night. If you need to be reminded to lock in, Carlos is the man. And yeah, I'll be here to answer questions and chat a little bit. But I'm gonna get locked in on this one, and I'll see you after I'm out.
Sun is falling, speed in the black. Nobody driving, we're in the back.
that even for? Was you playing your games? Was you really bored? No. I really should've known. We were standing right till we hit a red light. Didn't see the signs. Oh, after all that time, this is it for us. You don't wanna try. Thought your love was real, but it's not for us. No, you can't decide. Oh, 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 oh.
$1.62 in profits this market. Nice. Surge is starting to rack up the wins. Bigger bankroll, bigger bets, bigger wins. Let's pretend we never lose, right? Off the sessions, I often struggle looking at the tape surf tool and not knowing the best times to bid in. At what point in your head do you think, let me see here, it's going to continue going that direction? Because I'm trying to get, when I'm doing the timing of the entry and trying to get a brief movement, I'm looking at really heavy on one side and really thin on the other side. More than anything, I'm not doing that right now because I'm doing the bot strategy kind of end of the market one. But if I'm looking at the order book, and I asked AI about this for that setup. If you're trying to chase in the middle of the market a 5, 10, 15 cent push in one direction, and AI suggested that I should look at an aggregate of multiple markets. But I don't know. I find reading the aggregate chart very difficult because the prices are so different, and it just seems confusing to me. So I don't want to present that, because at least at this moment, because I don't have a firm grasp on how to read 4 markets on the screen at one time. So it's up for simplicity's sake. I find that Coinbase is not the leading indicator. It's like it's tending to respond mostly to what the real-time index is, and then what you're seeing on the screen is people adjusting their bids based on what the real-time index is right now. So like it's real-time index is 223. You'll tend to see folks throw bids up at 233. Or throw asks up at 233, because that's what the value is across all markets. So anyway, it's grain of salt with reading the order book, especially when we're only looking at one order book. But if I'm looking for anything, I'm looking for right now it can get pretty thin on both sides. That changes in an instant, but what I'm looking for is big blocks on one side and little on the other, right? So right now that would be the case more for up, at least for a millisecond. That was the case. So I don't know. I hope that helps. That being said, I'm starting to get away from using that as a prime indicator. And I'm also kind of moving away from that strategy of trying to ride I tested it out, was successful at times and was not successful at times. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go back to end of the market, just kind of a rigid thing that a bot can trade, and see if I can make it profitable with some tweaking and maybe coming up with an algorithm for the bot to decide if the market is too volatile to get in. So I kind of didn't answer I answered your question, but like I'm moving away from using the order book that definitively. But if you are going to try and use it and see if it works for you, you want big chunks on one side, thin lines on the, thin book on the other. Will tend to move pretty strongly. But yeah, definitely prefer the old strategy of waiting patiently. Yeah, I think I do too. It, I'm gonna see if the basic test of what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna see if this strategy basically works throughout the week, or it's almost like it doesn't matter what the market conditions are. I don't in what I'm doing for this bot trading. So we'll see if these exact parameters I'm establishing are effective, or if they need to be more specific and more complicated. I like to build a bot that's as little complication as possible, but usually to find the edge, you have to be a little bit more fine-tuned with it. But we'll see. We'll see if just getting in at 75 cents or more with 7 or less minutes to go and doing a 10-cent take profit or stop loss at 50 cents, if those numbers kind of equal positive over time. If they do, that would be a very simple bot to program. So I'm hoping that will be the case. Dude, I lost 20 yesterday in less than a second. Yeah. 37-cent win. Surge, just racking up the W's. I'm sorry about your loss, Wills. It's easy to happen. It can happen in a heartbeat on these things. That's why, especially with what I'm doing, stop loss is so key. And I'm basically for the next week kind of trading like a robot. Like I've got exact things I have to do at exact moments, and yeah, it's kind of what I already do, but it's much more rigid than I'm basically, I've got a set of rules I got to follow like I'm a bot, because I'm trying to move into programming a bot with this strategy. So yeah, you'll see me being very, very predictable on what I'm doing here for the next week. Yeah, it does come with it. Part of the territory. All right, I'm going to go into trading mode. I will be back once this one's done.
Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
It might be my favorite thing is the quick win, the almost no stress, like done win, moving on. What I like about also this kind of simulating a bot trading is there's very little stress because it's just and there's no doubt about what you're doing because it's just like you're in bot mode. You're just following the script exactly, and it's very stress free. It's just like I think this trading style in general is compared to others is a lot more stress free. Um, but yeah, acting like you're a bot is I'm telling you is a pretty mellow way to do this whole thing. So I'm at 1824. Started at $10. Went under my initial bankroll for a second, but made it back and then some. That's awesome, man. And like you said, as the bankroll grows, I mean, you've almost doubled your bankroll, which is amazing with very little risk. You got $10 on the line. You've doubled your bankroll, and you can do it again because the strategy as you know, I'm just preaching to the choir here, but the strategy stays the same. You scale up based on your portfolio, and yeah, just keep doing it, man. It's a grind, but if I try other strategies, it's so stressful, and I can lose so badly, and like it just go through streaks of just my bankroll just shrinking to nothing. With this, it's very consistent. It's very stable. You may go down, you may have a rough stretch where you drop a little bit, but overall, it's very steady, kind of consistent. And when you have a bad day, you stay pretty even for the day. And when you have a really bad day, you may lose a little bit. And when you have a good day, you make a little bit. So it's like it's a very stable strategy, and I think it's net positive if you have the stop loss. That's the key. Got to do the stop loss. Yep, we're having a blast, man. Uh, Fadia, the strategy. So the strategy I'm trading right now is basically. I would recommend you go and check out the most recent video I did. It's about 17 minutes long, but it is like the comprehensive strategy guide for basically what I'm doing. And uh, it's been, some people are doing a little bit of an alteration to it, but it's basically we're finding high probability positions, scalping some profit off of them, and doing a stop loss if it turns in the wrong direction. Pretty simple stuff. It's basic trading stuff, but that strategy is laid out in fine detail in that 17-minute video. So if you want to check that out, that'll definitely answer that question. Right now, I'm using basically the basics of that strategy, trying to trade like a bot so that I can program the strategy into a bot. So I'm trying to test different strategies within the strategy, like different exact, like as a human being, you can make decisions kind of a little bit more with your gut. You know what I mean? Like you can, oh, this feels too close, or this, uh, computer, the program can't do that. So you've got to be very specific about, okay, I get in, if this happens, I get in and X, Y, and Z and do this. So I'm trying to trade like a computer program right now. And I'll be doing that for the next week as I attempt to refine the strategy to bot tradable strategy. You're welcome, Fadia. Welcome. Hope if you have any more questions, just let me know. I basically try to talk and answer questions whenever I'm not trading. So if I'm silent for a while, it's just because I'm in the middle of a trade. So yeah, we're having fun, making a little money, um, learning some stuff, meeting some new people, just chilling. Uh, yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great, man. I'm really happy that we got such a solid crew to start out here. Normally, how much money do you bet? So I think my advice is uh, max should be probably 5% of your bankroll on any market is max. Ideally, more like 2% max. So it just depends on how much money you have in your bankroll. Um, and that's kind of the beauty of any strategy that can scale up is that, a 25-cent win when you have a $100 bankroll becomes a $25 win when you have a $10,000 bankroll. Like it's just it's the same thing. It's just scaling it to what you have as your backup. And it's basically allows you to withstand, hard times when you're getting it, you're losing back to back to back. You can survive that if you're keeping it, in the single digit percentage wise, and especially generally below 5 and below is ideal. But most investment folks will say 1% of your bankroll is ideal, is how much you should be investing. If you have a small bankroll, that it can feel like too little. And because we're doing high probability scalping, so we're not buying at 50 cents, we're buying at like 75, 80, 85. That's why I say it's okay to get in with a little bit more buying power, a higher percentage, like 5%, because you in our strategy we're using a stop loss. So that whole 5% is not really on the line. Only about maybe half of it is on the line. So even though I'm investing 5%, if the stop loss is executed correctly, at worst I'm going to lose just half of my investment, which would be 2.5%. So I hope that makes sense as far as how much we're generally doing here. I'm doing, because I'm testing a bot, I'm doing a very specific 5 contracts on almost every market. Unless the price I get in is above 94, then I'm doing 10 contracts. And this can be scaled, but for testing purposes, I don't want to get too big on those numbers. It's just I'm basically running an experiment right now, and I want to see how it does. So I just want to keep the numbers relatively, small compared to my bankroll, just so I can test it. It can be a terrible idea, and it's not that big of a loss, if it is a terrible idea. So far, this is what I expected it to be. It's profitable. It sometimes takes 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but it's profitable so far. We'll see if this plays out for the whole week, and if there's any adjustments that myself and talking with Claude, talking with AI chatbots, if there's ways to improve the strategy I'm working on. So, are you releasing the bot? No, I mean it'll just be me, for me, and yeah, and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that anyway. Like it's too much responsibility for someone else's bankroll. You know what I mean? I think you should be in full control. I'm happy to teach somebody how to make a bot trade for you. I, I have no experience with computer programming or anything like that. Thankfully, we live in a time where AI is smart enough. It can be kind of a hassle because it's not always as sharp as you'd like it to be. But like, if you stick with it, I've been successful with creating a trading bot that did exactly what I wanted it to do. It took some time. I had to work out the bugs and all that. So for me, I'm more like the guy that wants to teach you how to do the strategy, how to build the bot, um, not the guy that wants to sell you the bot. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that's kind of my philosophy on everything. I don't want to be a financial advisor. I just want to share my strategy, educational purposes. You know what I mean? That's why we don't do picks in the chat and stuff like that. It's just like we're here to learn and grow and learn to make decisions on our own. And that, believe it or not, even if you don't have any experience in computer programming, if you go and pay the $20 a month to Cursor or what Codex or whatever, you get your subscription, you start working with that AI bot, the AI program, and it's like, hey, here's what I want to do. Build this for me. And you're specific enough and you're able to work with the bot to fix the bugs and make it work correctly and test it, all that stuff. It takes a while. It takes some time to get it right. But you can do it. Anybody can do it. Costs $6 to get a VPN in Chicago, right next to the Kalshi, server. Like no delay, no time delay whatsoever. It runs 24 hours a day, so anybody can do it. And I'm happy to. Maybe I'll do a video on that, just so people know that it's possible that you can do it. And Kalshi wants you to do it. They have an API for that purpose. They want you to be able to program a trading bot. And that's why there are so many trading bots working on Kalshi right now, because they make it very easy. Their API is very easy to deal with, and you just tell and AI knows how to deal with, you just say, AI, read the documentation on the Kalshi API and tell me what I need to do. You know what I mean? Done. All right. I'm going to go into and I'm going to go into trading mode. I'll be back as soon as I'm done with this one.
Know if I can find my way out. In this time. need your space, then pull me close. I read your silence, louder than most. One day you're warm, the next day you're cold.
I love that Isaac Newton dude, man. Yeah. What's up, Los? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. So Carlos, the other Carlos, is our lock-in coordinator. He's here to remind us that, if we're getting a little loopy and, not paying attention to what's going on, Carlos is our man, the ambassador of locking in. And I'm appreciative of Serge, who is our ambassador of engagement. So thank you so much for encouraging folks to like the stream. I appreciate it, Serge. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this tonight. This is kind of the beginning of basically testing a bot program that I want to do, and it's super stress free. Like it's it's kind of how I just do it in general, but like it's even more stress free because I'm just have to be so rigid about the numbers, and because I would need to be for the bot to trade it effectively. So it's kind of having those restrictions, having those specific numbers, super helpful because it just takes the anxiety away. It's like, well, if I get to this one, I got to take take the loss, take the stop loss. If it gets to here, I'm going to get the win. That's it. And I get in at a specific time at a specific price, and super easy. So I'm kind of really enjoying what I'm doing right now. Yep. Lock in at 7:30. 7 minutes 30 seconds to go. If I'm still talking, Carlos is the ambassador of locking in, but everybody can feel free to be like, dude, 7:30, lock in. Like I love. Oh, by the way, we're not quite halfway on the subscribers to uh, being eligible for the YouTube partner program on this channel. We are already with watch hours basically halfway there. So it's 1,000 subscribers and I think 4,000 watch hours, and we're already at almost 2,000 watch hours. So I really appreciate all of you who are supporting this channel, checking it out, hanging out in the lives. We're very consistently especially on the evening sessions, have high numbers. So it's a lot of fun. I've only been doing this for a little over 2 weeks now, and we already have a kind of a crew in place. And even though we're typing and we don't have person-to-person interaction, we're picking up on each other's personalities and having some fun with each other, laughing, learning some stuff. So I'm having a blast with it. I do have to. I have I've had to put the rules up on the board because I had a couple chatters a couple nights ago that just kind of, weren't listening to me, and like were, taking the chat in the wrong direction for what I want for this channel. So, but I think it's now clear. It's up on the board. I don't have to, when people show up, they can read it. It's right there. Like, I don't have to be the policeman. But if somebody is not, we just don't want it to be like, some guy wants to be the guru, shows up and, hey, do what I'm doing, you'll be rich. And it's like, no, that's not what we're about here. We're about learning, trying strategies, discussing the conditions of the market, like, you know, growing, learning, becoming better traders. So that's the intention here. We can share anything, and you can even share your picks. But if you share your picks, you got to share why you're making the picks. That's the key. Because, whatever anybody says, their strategy is not unique. There's, it's not. Let's see. What are you using Kalshi unlocking? Los, I don't know that I understand the question. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on answering because I'm not sure. We're kind of talking about locking in, like just getting focused, at the 7 minute and 30-second mark to go. Because my strategy starts at about 7 minutes to go. That's why. So I don't know if that's what you're asking, but I'm kind of trying to guess what it is. But yeah, we're saying locking in at 7:30 because the strategy starts at 7. So what platform? Yeah, Kalshi. Yeah, we're on Kalshi. I actually have a beef with Polymarket right now. I told Serge and I think everybody here about this wager I got in on 2 days ago. Yes, I can't remember when it was, but recently. And it was a tennis match that was 6-love, and then it was 3-love, 4-love, 5-love, and but the probability was way off. Like the numbers were way off. They were still selling for 75 cents a share on a 6-love, and then 5-love looked like it's going to be a total wipeout. So the match ends at 6-love, 6-love. And everybody in the chat starts freaking out. It's like, I didn't get paid. But then we refreshed, everybody got paid. So my account was, I made a bunch because I went all in on it. Well, I wake up this morning, open up Polymarket, and there's about half the amount in my account that I think there should be. And so I contact them. This is kind of important. It's a difference between Kalshi and Polymarket, at least that exists right now. I believe that Kalshi, if there's a cancellation or something unusual, like the event doesn't happen, or he was like the chat bot I was talking to was like a walkover, like it's just too easy of a win. That Kalshi will do what you invested initially. They'll just refund what you put in, which makes sense. Okay, so it basically didn't happen. Here's your money back. That makes sense to me. That's fine. Polymarket will pay you 50 cents if it cancels. So if you get in, so basically that's why it was only trading at 75 cents. And I had to learn a hard lesson that that's how Polymarket settles what they determined to be an unsporting event, an event that didn't really happen, So I think that's terrible. And I wrote it's in their rules, but I wrote them a message and was like, this is unethical. We rely on you to provide us the information in real time of what's happening in, cricket on the other side of the world, or, a tennis match in Bali and if you're putting up stuff that's misleading and then taking money away, that's terrible. That's like awful. So anyway, I may be just bailing on Polymarket, and if they change that policy, I may come back in. But to me, that's a horrible policy to have. Because I don't know, I don't know what's going on. It just looks like a blowout tennis match to me, you know. And I got this. Everybody in the chat is like, "Oh, this great opportunity! Like, this free money, you know." And so everybody's pouring money into this market and just getting wiped out. You know, the people who don't know what's going on are buying the guy who's losing 6 love because they're spending 25 cents, and Kalshi's going to give them, or excuse me, Polymarket is going to give them 50 cents for those shares. So it's just, yeah, awful. just absolutely terrible. So anyway, I was like, this is just a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, it's just like that. The Kalshi policy makes absolute sense. I totally agree. If the event didn't happen or there was something not right about, you know, if the other guy got hurt and didn't really play and just got wiped out, 6 love, 6 love, I could see them saying, you know, it makes sense. Oh, it wasn't a real match. You know, the guy was just a walkthrough, you know, basically was what happened. Well, being refunded the money I put in makes sense. That's fine. I get that. But losing money on that situation when I don't know I don't know what's happening on the ground, and yeah. So, boo! Serge got $2 this market already. Serge is just firing on all cylinders. He got that rocket ship on the meme coins, and he's just flying with it. All right, I got to lock in. See ya.
Feels like it's closing in at a distance. Strength, love to play as a form of resistance. Take a cue from those who know what they've been here before to guide through to find the truth. Feels like it's closing in at distance. Strength, love can play as a form of resistance. Take a cue from those who know they've been here before to guide you through to find the truth.
Anyway, baby, just name the time. When I'ma come through, can you get me cruising on the moonlight? Top down, playing new sounds while the wind blows over it. Checking my maps, heading a stack, keep it intact. Do me a favor, girl. Can you keep it warm for me, keep it on for me like a shower? I needed to run for me, hold it down till I'm pulling up. I finally made it, girl. And I'm at the door, see you walking up to me, and you got something that's showing what's underneath. Still, you expect me to make it do pleasantries, baby, I'm yours. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rubbing in the hallway, no use for all the rules. So what you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. She said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. We could catch a vibe here on this trip. I'm in your soul, your...
Well, currently the conditions for the late in the market scalp are pretty ideal, pretty great. $2.65 for Surge. Nice job, man. Yeah, you're rocking and rolling now. What, you up to $20 now? Did you double? You now officially doubled your money? Got to be getting pretty close to that. If I'm guessing past that. The strategy is definitely efficient. Yeah. If you have the patience for it and you don't mind, you know, waiting for the right time to get in, and yeah, it can be very efficient as long as the market cooperates with it. Yeah, yeah. I believe me, I understand. I'm I'm the one who's making the videos on the strategy, and I'm still doing dumb stuff that I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Oh, I have learned that the danger zone for me is after midnight. I make some really stupid mistakes, really dumb errors in judgment, and yeah, even getting up till 11 o'clock. Basically, when I get tired, I get loose with the money. When I'm well rested and sharp, I'm sticking to the strategy and just cranking out the small wins, churning. Um, the only time I get in trouble is when I just stray from the strategy and be dumb. And I keep saying to myself, "Come on, man, shoot! How long? How many times do you have to learn this lesson?" Like, yeah, yeah. If it's that's one benefit to like trading like a robot. Like having a strategy so firmly in place that it's just like your only job is to execute the strategy, and there's no emotion involved whatsoever. You're going to win, you're going to lose, and your only job is to press the buttons at the time you said you were going to. And this is like, man, if I could sum up trading like a key to trading, it's like press the button when you said you were going to, when your strategy said you need to press the button. That's the hardest thing to do, and the most important thing to be profitable. Um, Stick to the strategy, come hell or high water. And so, yeah, I'm basically going to be trading like the bot I want to program for the next week. So I'm doing it all day today, and it's like super super relaxing. It's just no stress, no emotion. It's just like, yeah, just chilling, easy peasy, no stress. I mean, it still sucks when you lose. It's still like, that sucks. But my only job is basically to test if this bot works. If this strategy works with a bot running it. So even when I lose, I think that's a key for me. Even when I lose, I got to pat myself on the back and just say, you followed your strategy. You did what you said you were going to do. That's huge because that makes the whole strategy profitable. If you don't do that, now you're messing with success. Now you're making it less likely to be profitable. So anyway, that's a big thing that I'm going through right now is just, stick to the strategy. Don't get, if you get tired or you get bored or, your mind starts wandering, you start imagining being a rich, wealthy person, like whatever. Just step away for a little while. Go do something else. Like, uh, but yeah, I just keep having to remind myself that, hey, this strategy works. Why do you keep trying to like do something else besides this? Surge reminding you that, hey, if you get bored, oh, I love it, man. Surge makes me smile. Carlos makes me smile. We got a lot of people in this room that make me smile. So I'm grateful for all of you. I was reminded that there are plenty of you know, kind of toxic personalities in the crypto and predictive markets world that could be hanging out with me that would make my life miserable. But instead, I have like super chill, kind, funny people to hang out with. So I'm grateful you're all here. It's a lot more fun this way. So yeah, let's see. We got where are we at on the chart? We're riding that uptrend. You know, it's just been kind of what the indicator was suggesting, a just kind of slight uptick over time. But now we are, approaching the Bollinger Band on the top side. So something to keep an eye on. There may be some more downward pressure in future markets coming. But as of right now, actually the line says this might start going sideways. But yeah, the indicators are kind of starting to point like maybe down is starting to become more likely, kind of peaking out at the resistance level at the top of this previous high that we had about 6 hours ago now, something like that. So keep an eye on that. I don't really have to worry about it. I just have I'm basically a bot right now. So yeah, sideways is rough. I love a long steady move in one direction or the other. That's my favorite. That's when I'm happy, happy, happy. Choppy, not so much. Especially like volatile choppy is like, yo, no thank you. Yeah, I would say in general, these conditions so far tonight have been fantastic. Absolutely great. There's movement, but it's relatively steady and slow, and it tends to hold its position on one side or the other. So these are the conditions where the strategy I'm using does really well. But yes, I also am not a fan of sideways. All right, I'm gonna go into music mode and just chill out a little bit and get ready for this market. Good luck, y'all. Let's make some cash.
But now it's time to go our separate ways. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave. There's a first for everything, like her hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my baby girl become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to
slave.
Well, that sucked. Kind of knew the down might be coming, but I was hoping it would hold out. But there's where, all I can say to myself is I'm happy I did the strategy, I executed like a bot. I just lost the edge, took the loss, moving on. Next. Like, that's all there is to it. So, and part of the strategy also for me is just not trying to revenge trade at the end. Last 2 minutes are kind of off limits for me. But yeah, it was a huge red candle. Kind of saw things kind of flattening out and was saying that I thought there might be a down coming. I was hopeful it would. And yeah, I don't beat myself up now. If it finishes up, I don't. Yeah, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. You know what I mean? Got in, didn't work out, took the loss. The only thing I might change about my strategy is just stick to, don't try to ramp it up at 94 or above. Just stick to the same amount of contracts all the time. Because that one hurt a lot more than most. Because I had 10 contracts in there and got in at 97. So yeah, just traded it like the bot, and it was no bueno. But that's all right. Got to lose sometimes. It's just part of the game. The only thing you can do is have a strategy and stick to it, or come up with a new strat. If you don't believe in the strategy anymore, come up with a new strategy that's better. But yeah, I don't. I've gotten to the point now I don't second guess myself. It's like, nope, that's the play. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes a 97% probability turns into 50-50, and it's not worth sticking around to find out what's going to happen next. Even though this ends up probably being okay, once it crosses the 50-50 line, it's like, yeah, we're done. But that's my strategy for, that makes sense within all the things I'm doing. So I got a stray cat being fed in my house right now, and my cat is not liking it. So I'm gonna attend to the situation.
No, you can't decide. After all this time, this was it for us.
Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Porch light flicker on the siding, moths dancing like they know the tune. Every breath feels borrowed, but tonight the world's in tune. Old chair hums beneath me, plank boards keep the time. Old chair hums beneath me, plank boards keep the time. If this sound ain't perfect, music sings the harmony. I couldn't ask for more. Let the porch light burn uneven. Let the shadows play. Yeah, the porch light burn uneven. Keep the night from drifting away. If this ain't heaven, it'll do for today.
Yeah, it's a good point. It begs the question, should this bot just get in on the first side that gets to 75 and just no matter what time it is, because that one got there pretty early. And because my current setup has the bot waiting until 7 minutes to go, yeah, that's why, the best I could get in at was 97.7. It's a pretty terrible place to get in at, but what's up, Larry? Welcome. Good to have you here. So, yeah, it's something to consider. For this week, I'm going to let it run. I'm going to let it, this bot version, me manually trading this bot strategy. I'm going to stick to the 7-minute entry, but it's something to consider for the week after to change it to just be get in at the first sign of 75 and get out at 85 or whatever. So, but yeah, I'll stick to the 7-minute window for now and just say, SHIT happens, that's all there is to it. For me, it's been, pretty good. I mean, what I'm doing right now is basically trading a strategy that I'm trying to convert into a bot. So I'm just going to stick to one kind of set of rules for a whole week and see where I end up. And then if I notice a trend where I'm losing profits, where, like on that last one, there's maybe some tweaks that could have been done to prevent that one, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give it a whole week to run and see where we're at the end of it. So I'm going to be pretty boring and predictable. I'm going to get in most likely if the price is 75 or higher at the 7-minute mark. I'm in, getting 10-cent profit and out. And if it gets back to 50-50, I got to do a stop loss. That's pretty much it. So we're going to run that kind of simulation in real life here. The bot would do better with timing on, quick movements, but I should be able to replicate it pretty well, how it would do. Overall decent profit for the week. Very good. Congrats. Yeah, I think there's been plenty of good opportunities this week. If I had the weekend, especially, parts of Friday and Saturday were a little challenging because it was so quiet, so tight to the line, that it made it a little bit challenging. But yeah, the conditions I think in the last few days have been better than earlier in the week. So so far today, it's been great. I mean, it's been really kind of easy breezy. except for that last one. It's just, 20-cent win. All right, I'm going to lock in. I'll be back.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Never the same. Never you calling my name, I'm taking my sweet time. Hey, whatever the plan, I know I'm holding the best of me out of my hand. I know you always understand. Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
In the morning, I wake up feeling no pain. Long stretches, I get to remember it. Then I see my bed is empty on one side. Back in the sheet, only place I can hide. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. Sick and weary, and only your love's gonna make it right. I close the curtain, sweating, shaking all over. Imagine you're here. I'm looking up at the door. I'm a better man with your love than without. Stuck in the sill, I may never make it out. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. Sick and weary, and only your love's gonna make it right. Yeah, only your love, only your love. just a little. Take me along the way. Won't you visit? Won't you stop by to stay? I'm a better man with your love than without. In the sea, I may never make it out. And in the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. I'm sick and weary. Only your love's gonna make it right. Only your love, only your love. 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 Only your love, only your
Yeah, that was like deja vu all over again. And so I definitely have to make an adjustment here on the strategy because these two markets were like, exposed. I don't want to be getting in at 97 cents. That's what the bot is having me do. The bot format is having me do some really bad entries. So yeah, I got to think about. I think what I'll do is 89 cents. If it's above 90 at the 7 minute mark, I just do a limit order at 89 cents and hold there. I think that's maybe a better way to approach it. I mean, I still would have lost there, but it doesn't make sense that I'm getting in at 97 cents right now. So yeah. Uh, it's not resisting the Bollinger. It most definitely is resisting the Bollinger Band. So I got a couple things I got to point out, Serge. I hope you don't mind. Uh, so when you're talking about it going up, just so you know the terminology, I think you're saying it's a bullish market because you were talking about it going up, but you're calling it a bearish market. Bearish means sell off, downtrend. We've been in a bearish market in the long term on Bitcoin for a long time, about a year now, and that's kind of a pessimistic downward trend. Tends to be price going lower, more selling than buying. That's a bearish market. Bullish is a upward, more buyers than sellers, upward trend. Everybody's wanting to get into the market. Very optimistic. If I'm bullish on something, I'm optimistic about it. And so bearish is down, negative numbers. Bullish is up. Yeah. So, but when you said that not resisting the Bollinger Band, it absolutely is. When it touches that Bollinger Band last two times, it just dropped like a rock. Especially on that one, it hit up over the line and then just fell like a stone. So anyway, just want to talk about those. So from my perspective, it definitely is resisting the Bollinger Band, and I would say in very recent terms, it's a bullet. It would be a bullish trend. Now I think we may be moving more bearish, but yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there and make sure that we're all on the same page with the terminology. So someone is definitely manipulating this market. Well, there's always somebody manipulating this market. It's rich people playing with their money. We're at the we're at the mercy of rich people just playing games with their money. So yeah, so the last two have me. It's been good because it shows a weakness of the strategy already that needs to be addressed. So I think we'll adjust it just a little bit here, and I think it's a good adjustment to make. It wouldn't have saved me from those two stop losses. And actually, I thought the number on that last one was 220 because it was so far away. I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. And I said, I think it's 220 is the number I got to watch for. And it was like 240, So I actually lost more money than I should have because I was like kind of stunned how fast it dropped on that one. So anyway, yeah, strategies sometimes get their ass kicked if the conditions are wrong. And so we're definitely finding out why, it can be challenging to program a bot to run your strategy because you have to be able to take into all kinds of different situations. Because the bot can't, unless you give it an algorithm to process information, can't make the kinds of decisions that we can make in the moment, seeing what we're seeing in real time. Anyway, I'm learning, and this will be a week of learning for me about what adjustments need to be made if this is going to be turned into a trading bot. Because the last two market entries were terrible. I stuck with it because I'm just a trading bot right now. I'm not thinking. I'm just doing what I'm told to do, and I'm in at 97 plus twice in a row, and both of them are stop losses. So, boo. Oh well. That being said, right before that, I had like 5 easy wins in a row. So a lot of this may just be, working with the bot to read the signs of if it's falling super fast to override the system, and get out when it's 60 cents a share instead of when it's at 42 or 35 or whatever. But it's going to be a week of that kind of learning for me as I try to put my strategy into bot terms. So
I'm stuck in a prison of doubt in this delusion, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe, and nobody is watching at night. The water rises shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this and everything is gone uptight. Fall into the ocean. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching. Water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. Water is rising. It's coming in. Water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. It's coming.
You say you need your space, then pull me close. I read your silence, louder than most. One day you're warm, the next day you're cold. Got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration yours. You open up just to close the door. Just to close the door. I stay up late, trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind. But your love got rules that change all the time. Change all the time. Why are you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want the yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. You hit me up when the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't your maybe. Tell me what it is, 'cause I'm way too grown to be messing with a love like this. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration yours. You open up just to close the door. You stay closing doors. I stay up late, trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind. But your love got rules that change all the time. Changing all the time. Why are you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybe. I just want the yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in?
I was starting to feel like I was in the movie Groundhog Day there for a little while. It's like, is this just going to happen for like 4 hours? Is this going to keep going like this? It may still drop, but yeah, well, there it goes. It's definitely tricky conditions right now. And that's how you can change in, like, within a half hour, go from like ideal conditions to like, yikes, scary. And you're in scary conditions when you're $100 above the line and you're kind of like, I don't know, maybe it might survive. It might make it. 52-cent win, nice. 50-cent win for me. So yeah, very scary. Yeah, we're, we're all a little gun shy at the moment. Yeah, it's right at the top of the Bollinger Band. The trend is up, but there's resistance there. So it's kind of like pushing hard. Still a lot of buying power in this market right now, but it is meeting some pretty fierce resistance once it gets up to the Bollinger Band. But I like that. I made just, it was a simple change, but I think it's a good one and makes sense for the strategy in general. Um, that if at the 7 minute mark it's above 90, just set a limit order at 89. If it never gets filled, that's fine. But yeah, that allows the 10 cents of room for scalping and, make sure the bot's not getting in at 98 cents a share. So I've already made a few adjustments to it, and who knows, that may continue, but it's very helpful for me right now to be kind of testing this in real market conditions that are volatile. So, because this bot needs to be able to trade in all conditions. So, very scary right now. Yeah, so with my kind of negative experience with Polymarket today, I think I'm appreciating Kalshi even more. Like, yeah, their site is kind of glitchy sometimes, and the strike sometimes doesn't repopulate like it should, and blah blah blah. But I've been doing this for a year, and I would say 95%, maybe even more, is like all positive experiences of doing Kalshi. I really don't have, besides the kind of glitchy updating, which they're slowly but surely getting better at. It now does auto forward to the next market, which is great. I love that. I don't know if that's happening on the phone or not, but it is now happening on the computer that once the market's done, it just goes right to the next one. Sometimes the new target price comes up automatically, but not always. So for some reason, whenever Kalshi makes an update, it works for a while and then doesn't, and I don't know what's going on with why that happens, but so yeah, rough conditions. I'm down for the evening. Couple rough losses. You're using the PC. Phone has an open market button. Yeah, that's right. So you do have to actually do something to get it to move forward. But for me as a streamer, I'm trying to juggle a bunch of things at one time. The auto to the next one, and then when they do get it right, the auto populating of the new strike, that's huge. That's super convenient. So yeah, we've been kind of high on the RSI for a while. We've been above average, above the midline, kind of creeping up there, but staying pretty stable. I think we're just meeting resistance on the Bollinger Band. It's like a lot of energy pushing up, but then a lot of resistance in the other direction. So we're definitely at a point of resistance. So yeah, it's if you're trading on the long, you're marking this as like, well, here's a pretty strong resistance point, at least for the moment. All right, I'm gonna go into trading mode, and hopefully we can start getting stacking some wins. This is it's been a little rough lately.
Anywhere, anyway, baby, just name the time. When I'ma come through, can you get me cruising on the moonlight? Top down, playing new sounds while the wind blows over it. Checking my maps, heading a stack, keep it intact. Do me a favor, girl. Can you keep it warm for me, keep it on for me like a shower? I needed to run for me, hold it down till I'm pulling up. I finally made it, girl. And I'm at the door, see you walking up to me, and you got something that's showing what's underneath. Still, you expect me to make it do pleasantries, baby, I'm yours. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rubbing in the hallway, no use for all the rooms. So what you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you, baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. She said it's all for you. I did it all for you, baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. We could catch a vibe here on this trip. I'm in your soul, you're on my head. I want you at my fingertips all night, all night. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rubbing in the hallway, no use for all the rooms. So what you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you, baby, it's all for you. No, no, no.
All right, so stabilizing a bit and able to get a win there. One thing I got to think about is the one thing that's missing in this strategy, and I got to figure out how I would code for it, is deciding to sit out of the market completely. And, that's not really part of what I'm trading right now, trying to simulate this bot strategy. And I'd have to figure out how I would program the bot to realize the conditions are too iffy. So I have to think about what that would look like. Yeah, 95-cent win back at 15. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Riding through some a tough patch here and still staying profitable overall. So that's good. It does seem like at least the charts are kind of indicating a sideways movement, and we'll see if that continues. Kind of just anticipating a big potential for a big breakout. Let's see. Well, it is coming up on 10 o'clock Pacific time, so 1 o'clock Eastern time. Might start, the markets might start quieting down as we get into the wee hours of the morning across the United States. So one advantage to being on the West Coast for all of this is that Pacific Ocean is huge, and there's nobody really living there except the folks in Hawaii and a few other islands along the way. But it's LA and Tokyo, and the time difference there is like there's not many people in between those two places. So it tends to get a little quiet in the wee hours. but we'll see if that happens tonight. This is also, this is something I was going to say we should watch for tonight. It doesn't seem to be happening at all, but I had a theory that perhaps people would be selling off their positions, liquidating on Sunday night to get ready for the new week ahead. But that hasn't really been what we're seeing too much of here. In fact, it's more of a buying energy on the market right now. But I want to thank all the people who have clicked like on this stream. 6 of you. I appreciate you. Thanks for doing that. 383 subscribers. Pretty amazing. Definitely growing a lot faster than I thought it would. So, all right, I'm gonna go into trading mode. I'll be here if you have any questions or you want to chat. But yeah.
Singing something about the way things used to be. Now I'm dancing on a wire like a cheap paper tiger, strumming on a heartstring stereo to a song that no one knows, and it goes like this. Hey, hey, yeah, said it goes like this. Say la vie, oh don't ask me, 'cause it goes like this. Yeah. So I pack my bags and I'm on my way. And all my friends are upside down, but I get around okay. Now I'm dancing on a tightrope, oh, like some silly little psycho. Only one way out of this two-lane town, and around we go, and it goes like this. Oh yes, and it goes like this. Say la vie, oh don't ask me, 'cause it goes like this. Oh 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 oh, da 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 da. Say la vie, oh don't ask me, 'cause it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That girl is a runner, she was born to get away. Hear that two-tone humming, headed out to the highway. I should have seen it coming through the years left in the dust. But after all the lessons learned, it would end the both of us. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave. In the summer, man, it feels like yesterday, when she was looking out that window on the bus to second grade. The first step she'd ever take, the first cut from a heartbreak. Been through it all, but now it's time to go our separate ways.
There's a first for everything, like her hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my baby girl become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave.
All right, got a little dicey there for a minute, but was able to get the win on that one. 56 cents for Surge. What did I get? 54 cents for me. Yep. Surge and I are definitely on the same page right now. But yeah, I think I'm going to actually wrap it up a little early tonight. Kind of a quiet night, and yeah, market is a little iffy at the moment. Carlos with a $1.08 win. Nice job. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up a little early tonight. Give myself a little rest, and I've been going nonstop for 2 weeks now, so I gotta pace myself, and I gotta look at what schedule do I want to keep long term, because 6 to 8 hours a day, I can do it some days, but I'm not sure I can do it every day. So I'll think about it and come up with something. I do want to be consistent. Whatever I do, I want to be somebody who's consistent with what I do. So, but we'll wrap it up for the night. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you, Serge, so much. Have so much fun hanging out with you and learning all this stuff. Carlos, same to you. I appreciate both of you so much. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, and I'll get some rest tonight, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. A new week, and see what we can get done. Have a great night, everybody. I'll talk to you later.